Hello YouTube, Mike here, and it's 5 for Friday since I'm back home. Today's a very special day because I'm going to do the 5 things that I enjoyed most about my Travel Adventure Series Season 1. It's going to be awesome. Roll the bumps.
Yes, that's right, it's Friday, the day the regular work week waves the white flag. Your reward? 5 for Friday, a pointless list I create just for your entertainment.
Day 3. I'll link it right here. Morris Cove Falls Trail. It wasn't the most spectacular falls that I saw my entire trip, not even close. It might have actually been the least spectacular falls that I saw. But what makes this one special? Well, when I finally got to the falls and I sat underneath the falls and I went around behind the falls and I took some great shots of me in front of and out sitting next to the falls, and just the feelings and the emotions that came to me as I sat there and realized that what I was doing was really happening. And since this was at the beginning of my adventure, it kind of said to me, this is real. We're going to be doing this for as long as we can, and I'm going to see so many more beautiful things just like this. So Morris Cove Falls Trail was the beginning of my real journey on the Travel Adventure Series Season 1. And that's why it's special to me and belongs on this list. Number 2 on this list, Graveyard Fields. Now this was an extremely challenging hike that I took on. It was pretty long and it had 2 falls on it. And what made this hike special is I did a lot of hiking off trail for the first time in this adventure. I got beat up pretty bad by thicket and everything else, and it was all worth it because I got some unbelievable shots. People really seemed to enjoy this video, and I'll link it right here for you. But what made this particular hike so special was, one, it proved to me that I could do a really challenging hike, that I could go off trail and find really exciting things. But not only that, the area was so dynamically, bizarrely different. I started out that hike in 40-degree weather wearing a winter coat, which I had to pack up by the time I reached the bottom. And at some points along those trails, it was 70 and 80 degrees. And when I got back up to the top, it was in the 40s again. And the whole entire experience was just like that. There were thicket and strange things like what you would normally see in the Midwest or in Arizona. And then there were these lush areas that were just so beautiful. And both of the falls that are along that trail were absolutely amazing. It was a whole lot of fun, and definitely one of my favorite events that happened during the Travel Adventure Series. Now the animals of the series that I ran into along the way definitely deserve a spot on this list. I got to see and experience a wide range of animals. Some I got on camera and some I didn't. I did see some deer, which I wasn't able to get on film because there were just too many trees. But a lot of the animals I did get on film, and these are some of my favorites. This bird we determined was probably a female cardinal, and on one of the last days in Myrtle Beach, she came and hung out with me for quite some time. And I certainly couldn't leave out these ducks, whom on my very last day came to say goodbye as they cleaned themselves and played, and they hung out for a really long time. They were so friendly and neat, and it was kind of like they were saying goodbye, and they knew I was melancholy for having to go home. That was a pretty cool moment. And then, of course, there were these ducks who had their babies with them, just marching to the pond. What a cool experience to be able to film this. It was really exciting and fun. But my favorite animal that I saw the entire time that I was on the trail was this lizard in Myrtle Beach State Park. What a cool lizard. He didn't want me filming him, and he let me know it. And it was this point where I said, you know what, I'm getting kind of good at this. I was able to get this on film, and it looked good, and I was having so much fun. I was like a kid in a candy store, and I was so excited to put the video out so that you could see it. What a cool experience. My Maine Coon Piney has to be on this list. Meeting up with him and having him become somewhat of a mascot for the channel is fantastic. And the segment in Poinsett Park where I meet up with Piney, look at the size of this pine cone. Look at that.
Look at that. What the hell did this even come off of? Freaking Jurassic Park tree or something.
And subsequently say what I think is the funniest line of the series.
It's like a Jurassic pine cone graveyard up in here. They're everywhere. They're like big tree poops.
Is definitely one of the biggest highlights. And you can plan on seeing lots more of Piney in the future. I've got big plans for him. Klingman's Dome was probably the pinnacle experience of the entire journey. Not only did it happen on my final full day, but it was also some of the most breathtaking views I've ever experienced in my life. I gotta thank, personally, Happy Trails for telling me to do it because it wasn't on my agenda on my final day, and I really would have missed out on it if I hadn't seen it. So thank you, Happy Trails. I really appreciate it. Not only the views at Klingman's Dome, but also having the opportunity to conquer my fears was a big deal for me.
That right there, my friends, is conquering your fears. I did it, and it was beautiful. And scary as hell. But wow, amazing.
It was one of the things I had set out to do on my journey. It was a fantastic experience that I'll never forget. Here in my studio, you can tell we have a new backdrop here. And it kind of goes in chronological order of my journey. So here's the first place I stayed in North Carolina. It was the Asheville West KOA, and here's the tickets for it. This is a trail guide and all that sort of stuff. We've got waterfall trail guides. And let's see here. This one here, the 30 hikes in Asheville, North Carolina, was pretty much what I went off of when I decided where I was going to go. This map here is the Blue Ridge Parkway, which is a large part of where I hiked at in North Carolina. Over here, we've got our South Carolina stuff. We've got Poinsett State Park. And here's the trail map from Poinsett State Park. And we've got the two Poinsett State Park passes right here. And I can tell you right now where we found Piney. He was right in here. Let's see, where are we at here? Right in here. Right along this trail here is where I found Piney. I'm going to get a pin and put it in there so we don't forget, because it's Piney's birthplace. Then I've got this state park map of South Carolina that gave me ideas as to where I wanted to go. I called so many of these places looking for just some place that even had a site. Now you guys probably saw the beautiful sunrise my first day in South Carolina, and that was from this campsite here. I don't know if I even have a tag from that. I don't know what happened to it. But then we went to Myrtle Beach State Park. And I've got a tag from there, of course, as well. I've got 2 tags from Myrtle Beach State Park. And that was a fantastic experience. Then from Myrtle Beach State Park, we went to Georgia, and here's the Georgia map, where I stayed here. And this place was awesome. I got to order a pizza, which is really the first real food I had during the entire trip. And we've got our overnight stay there, and the Georgia Park Pass, because of course they charge you to park at the state parks in Georgia. So that was awesome. I saw a fantastic waterfall there. And from there we went down here to the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, where I stayed here. And here's the park passes for that. And this shows you a little map of Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge and whatever's behind here, Seversville I think it is, which I didn't really go to. And it has hiking trails listed here and all that kind of stuff. What an amazing experience, and this is going to stay on my wall until season 2 as a reminder to me of all the amazing experiences that I shared with you. And I hope you enjoyed it. These are just my 5 top moments, but maybe you had some of your own. And if you had some moments that you really enjoyed in the series, please leave them in the comments. I'd really love to hear about it. I'm going to be doing a live show very soon, where I'll also be wrapping up the series, where I'll share with you the answers that a lot of you folks sent in to me for the questions that I asked in my final live show. If you haven't, watch the first 20 minutes or so of my final live show and send me in your answers to those questions. It will really help to shape the way Season 2 of the Travel Adventure series goes, and I'd really appreciate it. So that's going to be it for me today. Please follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and subscribe to my channel and ring that bell. Piney and I would really appreciate it, and it doesn't cost you anything. And if you ring that bell, it'll let you know when I go live. You're probably going to want to be there because we're going to do a lot of open discussion about how Season 2 of the Travel Adventure series is going to go. And very soon I'll also release some sort of a thing where one of you guys is going to be able to win that $50 Amazon gift card that I brought home with me. I just haven't totally decided exactly how we're going to do it. But if you have a suggestion, I'm open to it, so let me know. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.